What is up, everyone? Welcome back. I hope you are all doing incredibly well. It is 31 March of 2020 as I shoot this video, which means the world is in one of the weirdest states I've ever seen it, with the whole COVID-19 threat throughout the globe. So I hope you're all doing well. I hope if you catch this in a couple of years from now, as it sits out there in the YouTubes and the internet, that you were well during that time. I hope you're well stocked. I hope you are in a good headspace emotionally and mentally. And I wish you guys the absolute best during this incredibly trying and incredibly difficult time that very few of us alive have ever experienced. That said, the Deer Hunter, the color spectrum. This is going to be the first listen I do for the first EP in the series Black. This collection is simply so massive that I don't have it in me to sit down for the 2+ hours that it would take to do this continually. And I wouldn't want to subject anybody to sitting down and having to listen to me for 2+ hours at once. That's a task in of itself with the way I do these videos. But I'm glad you're hanging out with me for it. We've got 4 tracks on tap. If you're not familiar with the Deer Hunter, they are a fantastic indie progressive band from the brainchild of Casey Crescenzo. And they're a band that truly has been taking me out of my comfort zone musically, with some of the emo leadings that I've never been big into, but these guys just suck me in and wrap me up in a way that I wasn't truly expecting. Massive thank you to Matt Gigante, Patreon, longtime subscriber, and the guy that also has been doing all of these amazing guides with taking his time to do it. Truly, truly appreciate it. It's incredible work, and it really helps me do what I'm doing. So, let's go ahead and get into this, shall we? We're doing the Black EP. The very first track is Never Forgive, Never Forget. The band, once again, is the Deer Hunter. And here we go. Every first track from these guys is always interesting because he always opens each album with something. In this case, it's big percussion fills, really cool drum rolls, synths going on. Each opening and intro for their work always serves such a great job to suck the listener into a specific type of mood. He's almost like a great writer of books, novels, whereas he just builds the framework for what he's doing so well. Love the electronic and the industrial elements going on here. It's a really cool thing that I didn't expect. I love the resonance of that hi-hat as well. The electronic percussion is something I wasn't expecting.
Man, you got a cold, dark heart, and it burns with a guilty smoke. You tell me just give in, you got nothing to lose, and I guess I would never know. But I was
cool vocal treatment. Some of the treatments that are on his voice, making it sound the way it does. There's a slight little bit of distortion to it. I like that darker feel and the more distortion that I'm used to hearing from these guys. There we go. I'm always amazed with the break that Casey's able to get in his voice. Those tom sounds are amazing. They work so well with the electronic elements. I like that riff, how he kind of elongated that passage really simply. And this break is awesome. Oh, there's the horn. Fantastic fills. Outstanding. I didn't know where he was going to go, and that feels amazing. Layering to really get the different breaks and his voice all wrapped together in that passage. Really like that riff. The chaos in the mix, yet how clear and crisp it is, has a great effect here. Oh, that percussion stands out so well. The very next track is Filth and Squalor. Excuse me. I'm going to take a guess and say that these different EPs are all going to have different feels and attacks to them. Takes on what Deer Hunter really are. Correct me in the comments if... Love that percussion pattern. I also really like that aggressive attack on the bass.
For the mass by the will of a broken few, guided by the hand of the guilty, praised as a cure for a curse. Really, this is all catastrophic, and we're tethered to the hull of a sinking ship.
That slap work on that bass line is such a great, cuts so well, and fantastic addition to this. Clearly in my co-editor agrees there. The bass is just tying all this together for me. Such a cool tone. I love the bass player in the track. It's like dissonant, sharp, and biting electronic frequencies are a really cool touch. The more I listen to this, the more I want to hear him do an electronic project. Great drum fills. I love the blend of the organic instruments as well as the electronic stuff. It's really cool yet abrupt pause, the way it comes back. It's another little thing to make the track hit even that much harder. That's awesome. Very next track is Take More Than You Need. To hear this coming off the first 3 Deer Hunter records, it's such an incredible change and just shows more depth from the band and more depth from Casey. I love that distorted bass tone for this track. That is a great choice. I can't tell if that's synth or if it's guitars running through a synth style processor. That cynical, pessimistic voice that he's able to get is something I love about Casey's delivery. And it works so well here. Wow. Really works out well with that transition. Killer drum fills. Love that different swagger that comes in here. Love how you get almost a metalcore feeling from some of these passages and the drum work. Really cool lead work there, not something that I expected. So much going on, there's so many little nuance to this passage. I love the way all these different electronic textures are working for and against the lead work. All right. The last track in this EP is This Body. Really like the way that last track faded out into this. Like the way this track is building. That electronic percussion back there makes me feel on edge. Like that. The keys coming in.
Extremities to run after a light that keeps on dimming, but these bones will only brittle and decay.
Really amazing feeling
my
here.
body and my mind keeps caving in. Oh my God.
Wow. He's got such a knack for the way he develops a chorus and these different vocal layering passages. It's really impressive. The way he drags these vocal phrases out really makes it stick to me on an emotional level.
I've been stirred by something wretched, something weary, but the sentiment is starting to seduce. Oh my God.
The use of electronics on the vocals for that pitch correction almost really cool. Love that really simple drum groove that's being utilized here. That cadence works so well for all the different nuances happening. Love that very robot-like electronic delivery. The sci-fi geek in me is soaring with joy right now. This passage is heavy and dark for these guys, and I really enjoy that. Almost has a Rage Against the Machine like feel here. I like how you can hear the rim shots on the snare there and how they really mix that in. Such a sharp, punching texture. Awesome. So powerful. I can't help but wonder what the overarching concept is here. That was This Body. That was the 4 tracks that compose the Black EP from the color spectrum, the black color of the spectrum. And there's got to be a concept to it. I don't have any information on what that concept is. But at this point, I know everything that Casey does, there's some kind of underlying tie-in to all of it. And those 4 tracks were amazing because it showcases a side of the band that I have not experienced yet. And that was really impressive. Take More Than You Need makes me think of what Nine Inch Nails would sound like in the early to mid 90s if Casey was composing. It has some of the hallmarks of Trent, some of that influence, the sound, those heavier industrial rock feelings going on. Really enjoyed that specifically. There's amazing moments in each of these 4 tracks. The EP builds in so well. Like I said in the very beginning of it, I always am very curious to hear how Casey's going to build the opening to a record, because it's like he's world building as a writer. The first 50, 60, 100 pages of a book. It's that world building that's establishing the basis for everything else. And I always feel like that's what I'm getting from him in the very beginning when a record opens up. And I'm always curious to know where that's going to take me as a listener, because it's going to set the tone for everything else. And he does that so incredibly well. And I wasn't let down. I didn't expect to get this level of electronics. It's really, really enjoyable stuff. Off a single listen, if I'm picking a favorite, definitely love those last 2. Take More Than You Need in This Body. There's just such a mastery of what he does as far as what he hears and what he wants to hear and what's in his head on how he wants things compositionally. Different layers of the different vocal layering, the different ways that he gets different parts of different bits of grit and dirt in his voice, and then he sets up different layers to make that work. You don't hear that from a lot of guys or a lot of gals or just a lot of composers in general, and there's a handful of them that I think that are utterly masters at it. A very good one being Devin Townsend. He's just an utter maestro when it comes to layering vocals to get different feelings and emotions, and I think Casey's really on that level. The mix is clear and crisp, but dirty. I love the combination of the organic elements as well as all the electronics, the different effects on the drums, the different bass tones. They just do such a great job of understanding what they want things to sound like to make the listener feel something and engage them. And I adore it. Sorry guys, my voice is still breaking up a bit. I'm still under the weather, but I wanted to get this out, especially in this trying time. And thankfully, the EPs are relatively short on each one, so I can get this done in under 30 minutes and rest my voice a bit. But this is amazing. It's taken a bit longer than I wanted to get done. But man, I can't wait to get the next one. The goal is to try to get these done every couple of days from this point on to get another one done. Because they are so short that I can knock them out consistently, I want to try to get them done by early to mid-April of 2020. So I can move on to thinking about getting Act 4 in and other content that I certainly owe out there. So once again, this is a fantastic experience. I'm loving the different feel. Let me know in the comments if each EP has a different feeling to it. Is it all gonna sound like this, or does each color represent a different mood? I'm guessing it probably the latter. I'm guessing that each color is probably going to showcase a different shade of the band. So my anticipation is even higher at this point. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. I love doing these for you. I love being able to sit down and do a listen where I feel like we're all in the same room, just sharing our thoughts and talking about it. That's how I started doing this stuff years ago. And in this time, I hope it gives you something else to keep your mind on things and to enjoy and to share with somebody. So I appreciate you being here very much. I wish all of you the best right now. I hope you're doing well wherever you happen to be. As always, I want to thank my law enforcement, military, veterans, and first responders, and especially those in the healthcare field right now who are doing so much to really, truly keep us going. It's really important to think of them right now. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks, guys. I love you very much. As always, you have been awesome. I have been Baldman. I'll see you in the next one. Be excellent to each other. Keep headbanging.